Hello, this is going to be a quick video review of the Prometheus Alpha XM18-B. So if you'd like to see a full review, go ahead and click on the link that's going to be in the description there. So the Prometheus Alpha is a custom-made light. It's a one-of-a-kind, really. Normally the Alphas are they're made of aluminum and they're all electroplated with nickel, and then this one actually has a Cerakoting on top of that. So the Cerakote is really high intensity, very it'll stand up to a lot of abrasion, a lot of really scratch resistant. It'll take good care of the coating of the light here. It's normally used on firearms and that sort of thing. So you can also see this little indentation here is the maker's mark. That's Jason's mark to let you know that he custom made this. It's been made by hand. So it's a very solid construction overall. It just feels good when you hold it. The XM18-B means that this light uses an XML emitter, an 18650 battery, and it's got a boom reflector. So the XML emitter you can see in here is a slightly larger LED than average. It puts out a lot of light, very efficient, and it's also pretty floody, so the light is pretty well spread around. The boom reflector you can see there is faceted, which is going to make the beam look really nice. It smooths out any artifacts or rings or anything like that. So you see it's a pretty smooth beam pattern there. And then just outside of the lens is there to keep the light from getting scratched up at all inside. And outside you can see the blue fluorosilicone O-ring, which can hold up to some pretty tough environmental conditions, and just looks really good as well. So when you open up the light, see it takes quite a few turns to open up, and the action there is really smooth. Jason uses some nano oil, and also includes a little bit when he sends it to you to keep the threads smooth. And you can see they're very clean, very well made threads. Got the blue O-ring there as well to keep water from getting inside. Jason's tested this, I believe, to water pressures of over 300 feet. So and the light still works. So here you can see that he's got the circuit board mounted on a copper heat sink. That heat sink is going to draw heat away from the emitter. The XML will heat up a lot when you run it as hard as it's going to be run here, and that draws the heat away from the emitter into the body of the light, so it can go pass off into your hand and you can keep it cool. You can also see on this spring that's the battery contact. He's just put a little bit of solder on the end there, which smooths it out and keeps even the spring from scratching up your battery. So he's really thought of everything there. You can see he's got a pretty thick wall, really sturdy, and sticker with the serial number of the light in there. So this is number 121. As I said, this is a 18650 sized battery that holds a lot of power in there, and this is the only kind of battery this light will run on. We can also take off the tail cap. This you can see this clip is removable without the use of any tools, so you just take off the tail cap and you can slide it on and off there. You just have to get the O-ring out of the way. So the Alpha uses a McClicky tail cap switch, which is one of the favorites for a clicky style tail cap switch out there right now. You can see it's got the spring on the end. Jason's actually experimenting with some pretty cool new springs, but we'll hopefully see those in the future. But anyway, you can see that there's the tail cap, and Jason recommends inserting the battery through the head. That spring, if you have the battery on the head already on there, that spring can make it kind of hard to get the tail cap on. So just put the tail cap on, then the battery in, then tighten the head up. You can see at the rear here, Jason's got several different options for the color of your tail cap. I chose the glow-in-the-dark one. I believe he's also got orange and black available. Also in the Cerakoting, you can see he left a little bit of the electroplated nickel showing around the edge of the tail cap. That's partially just for style to make it look really nice, and also partially because I believe he has plans for a metal tail cap cover in the future. So be able to swap that in there and make it look really nice. So this light is very powerful. Has 3 different modes because you don't need that intense of light at all times. So I'll go ahead and turn it on here. As you can see, it's a pretty smooth beam pattern. most of the light goes to the middle because of that reflector. It does a good job of keeping it in, but overall it's just a very smooth beam. And it looks a little bit blue here just because of my camera settings. In reality, this light has a neutral colored emitter. You can get several different tints that Jason has available, and I chose the neutral here. So the McClicky switch, you can either press it halfway down for momentary on, and as soon as you release the pressure, the light will turn back off, or you can click it into position, it'll stay on. So as I said, the Alpha has 3 different modes, so it's got, as you turn it on and off, it'll cycle between those. And it's got the low and the medium and the high. So when you get to the mode that you want, so say I want to put it in low mode and leave it there, I just click it into position and it'll leave there. And then I can turn it off and back on again to go to the other modes as well. So this has been a quick video review of the Prometheus Alpha, and if you'd like to see a full review, go ahead and follow the link in the description. Thanks.